Please tell us about the story of you being jumped in Chicago while trying to stop a man from physically assaulting a woman.
Well, I was in Chicago. 19-year-old young little brother went there to try to come to our headquarters to get some training to become what I wanted to be, which was a helper in this cause in the ministry. So I went there to do it, and by doing so, I ended up working for one of our security companies there. And there was a brother in the projects that was beating a sister with some handlebars to a children's bicycle. And I seen it, and I went over to him to stop him, and got in between him and her, and he swung trying to hit her, and I grabbed the handlebars, took them from him, and she took off running as we were tussling. He chased her down, ended up going up to the floor where she lived, and I had told my partners that were on security that they were coming. I made my way over there. When we got there, the brother was busting the windows out with a pole, this sister's apartment unit. And I came upstairs, and he was swinging the pole at a couple of the brothers that were doing security to get him away from him. So I came up, he didn't see me, I had on a trench coat, and I threw it over his face and just hit him and held him on the ground. But while I was holding him on the ground, the sister that he was beating came out and tried to stab me with a knife. So she got close to stabbing me, and I ended up getting her hand and knife and stopped, and then we left. And we went down several flights of stairs.
Real quick, you were FOI at the time?
Yes, sir.
So
I was
you were
FOI.
training then?
Yeah, I was FOI.
All
Yes,
right,
sir.
cool. Just want to make sure.
So I was in the ranks, and some of the brothers that were with me were as well. We came down the steps, and by the time we made it down there, there was a large amount of brothers that were part of this gang that were downstairs in the field waiting on us. So in my training, we don't run from, we run to the fight. So I'm walking toward this group, and I'm saying Allahu Akbar, God is the greatest. You've seen the movie Roots. In the movie Roots, whenever they wanted to get the strength to snatch the slave trader, pull him into the circle, take the keys to get free, the thing they said was Allahu Akbar. That's the chant of the Muslim to muster up divine strength to face a challenge. So I'm Allahu Akbar. I'm assuming everybody else is too. And I get there, and I'm by myself. And when I got there, I knew the brother. I was the supervisor for the company at that shift. So I knew the brother that was the shot caller of this gang. So we start talking, and he said, yeah, they tell you jumped my brother. I said, no, sir, nobody jumped your brother. I hit him and held him down. He was beating a sister with some handlebars. And he said, you ain't gonna believe what he told me. He said, that's his wife. I said, well, I wouldn't have thought that, and it don't make no difference. There was no reason for that. And I wasn't gonna let him get away with that. He said, he told everybody, y'all stand down, don't nobody do nothing. And me and him start walking away. But while we were walking away, one of the people disobeyed his instructions and hit me in the side of the head with a baseball bat. So I got hit with a bat and turned around, and I was able to grab the brother that hit me with the bat. We went to the ground, and by then they had, whatever they had. They could have killed me. They had weapons to kill me, but they just beat me with poles, shovels, bats, bad. And I never was unconscious, though, they say. And they was hitting me so hard that it woke up. It was about 3 o'clock in the morning. It woke up the people in the projects. And the sisters that were in the projects ended up coming down and getting them off of me and called the ambulance. And I ended up going in the ambulance and went to the hospital, and they told me, I asked them when I was in there, I said, can I see a mirror? The nurse said, I'll have to check with the doctor. I said, you mean you got to check with the doctor before I can see myself? She said, yes. I said, man, I must be messed up. So I grabbed the little bag when she left and went over to the mirror. And I said, oh man, these must be some powerful drugs, because that can't be me. It was. I was that messed up. So I was split from here to here. I had a scab going all the way across my face that had this eye closed, swollen. I was swollen and beaten. I was black everywhere. Everywhere. And, but I healed in about 3 days. And so that's kind of in a nutshell. And by the grace of Allah, I was able to recover and went back over there to work. And some of them brothers that was involved end up working for us over time. One of the brothers that was over there end up being killed, and they tried to say we did it. So it created a little bit of a problem, but we were able to work through it. And some of them brothers end up becoming employees, and a couple of them end up joining the nation after the fact. But that's what happened. And unfortunately, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad said this. He says 75% of my work is with the woman. There's a lot that the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad invested in training our women to see the real value that they should have in themselves. See, whenever women really know their value, they'll stop giving men discounts. When the black woman really learns her value, she'll come off that clearance rack and get back behind the glass where the real valuable stuff is at. Everything you see behind the glass is more expensive, and you have to handle it with care. Whenever the Honorable Elijah Muhammad told our sisters that a nation can rise no higher than its woman, it began to increase the appraisal black women had of themselves. When he said that the mother is the first nurse, first teacher, first doctor, it began to raise their appraisal of themselves. When he said this, that there's no such thing as a no good woman, any no good woman was made that way by a no good man, that raises the appraisal of the woman to herself and should raise the appraisal of our women to us. He said, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, that we should respect and protect the black woman. Well, if we're supposed to respect and protect her, she has to do the same for herself. So, the woman is not the second self of man per se. She really is the second self of God. And when our women really, really understand how valuable they are, your womb is the laboratory of God that He uses to bring into existence all of the inventors, the messengers, and the prophets that have changed the world. You are His instrument. When women really know their value like that, they'll never be okay being in a relationship where they're being beat and still think that the person beating them really loves them. When they really know their value, they'll demand of us the kind of respect that they deserve. And we won't have a situation where I got to step in and then you step in to try to hurt me for trying to help you. So that was a good sign to me and to us that we got a lot of work to do. Not only on making the black man respect our women like we should, but to make the black woman respect herself like she should.
I know in your work you had to be exposed to this, right? So I know with domestic abuse, it's kind of tied into economic abuse a lot. People don't want to talk about it because there's a financial dependency.
This is true.
But put that to the side, right? In this context, have you been exposed to women who don't believe a man doesn't love them unless he beats on them?
I would say that not he doesn't love me unless he beats on me. But there are many women that believe that he does love me in spite of the fact that he beats on me. And see, there's a verse in the Holy Quran that says this, and your wives to you are not as your mothers. But that has to also be told to the sisters. And sisters, you are not to be to your husband as their mother and them to be to you as your son. Because the nature of a woman is mercy, is compassion. Look at this, long suffering and nurturing. Those are the characteristics of God that females manifest naturally to help them to be constitutionally fit for the role of motherhood. But when you as a woman begin to take those ingredients that make you constitutionally fit for motherhood and you allow it to be too heavily influencing your role as a wife, then you will be in a situation where you could trick yourself into thinking that as a nurturer, if I just love them, if I'm kind enough to them, if I suffer long, at some point, he's going to change. After all, he did cry when he apologized. Yeah, so at a certain point, you have to know when you begin to think less of yourself, that this relationship has become very unhealthy to you. Your hair is falling out. You're gaining weight even though you're eating the same. You don't smile anymore. Whenever it's time to go home, you are having anxiety attacks on your way home. No, when you in the world, you're supposed to have anxiety. But when you on your way home, you're supposed to be feeling like I'm coming to my spiritual recharge center where I can unplug from this no good, wicked, white supremacist world and come to a place that I call my home, which is a pure source of love where I can come extract some peace and some power. You're not supposed to be worried. You're supposed to come to a place that relieves you of worry. So unfortunately, that nature of long suffering, patience, compassion, mercy, nurturing that was given to the woman for motherhood, sometimes it bleeds too much over into spousal relationships and causes her, in spite of the fact that somebody is consistently doing physical harm to you, emotional abuse, verbal abuse. No, you worth more than that. And you have to lay your foot down. And then, of course, you do run into that financial equation. That's why we have to become stronger in wealth, not just income. Income, what you earn by exchange of your time, a good product or service. Wealth, what you exchange of your money that keeps value or increases in value. Because if we had wealth, then the young daughter or the old daughter wouldn't have to worry about does she have somewhere to go. We would have enough that she would always have somewhere to go because I'm her uncle, I'm her father, I'm her brother. I don't have to worry about whether she's going to be able to put gas in the car. I got you covered because we got wealth now as a bloodline. So that is another equation that makes it more challenging to do so. But if a man, the messenger, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad said that if you have to beat a woman, you shouldn't have one. There's something wrong with you if the only demonstration of power that you have is physically or verbally abusing the one you're with. No, go show me how powerful you are by how big your business you can build is. Show me how powerful you are by how much love and time you can put into your community to raise up people that may not even be your blood family. Show me how powerful you are off of what you can create as an institution for your people. That's where power should be demonstrated, but not in the striking of a woman with a fist. No man should physically, verbally, or emotionally abuse a woman. That doesn't show that you're powerful. It really shows you're a punk.